Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Copper Dragons here, and I'm going to be playing some LEGO Marvel Superheroes. Now, I know that I said that I would take at least some time off from playing LEGO games in my LEGO Ninjago movie series, but I just kind of been getting more and more addicted to LEGO games in these past couple days, since I've been playing some more LEGO Batman 1 recently. So yeah, let's just go ahead and just try and play this game for as much as I can get out of it. I also have LEGO Marvel Avengers and LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2. I will be playing this game first, then LEGO Marvel Avengers, then LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2. I will be playing it in that order. So yeah, let's just hop right in and start a new game. Alright, honestly, LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2, that's like one of the last LEGO games I ever got physically. Now, keep in mind, I did get LEGO Marvel Superheroes 1 and LEGO Marvel Avengers digitally, so yeah. But yeah, from what I played of these games, I really do enjoy them. Especially the first level to this game. I love the first level to this game to death, considering you get to fight Abomination and Sandman this level. You know, and there's some of the most interesting videos, I mean, not videos, but villains to me. You know, like there's just no other villains that can top them for me in terms of interestingness besides, you know, Doc Ock, Green Goblin, and a few others. I won't go into too much depth because I do find quite a few villains pretty interesting, but yeah.
But first, I should probably prevent it from being destroyed.
This would have been much easier had you captured the board intact rather than blasting it to pieces.
The Avengers showed up. They know how to ruin every good evil plan.
Your plan is still fantastic.
A poor choice of words.
Say that again?
I prefer to think of it as spectacular.
Sorry, I just had to bring that up. It's just so corny and just so much within my humor range that I just couldn't not bring it up. Wait, why is Stan Lee on the list of villains? That doesn't make sense. He's basically the equivalent of the almighty god. Like, he's the one above all. If anything, that's pretty much what he is. That and Steve Ditko and basically everyone else who has worked at a higher position for Marvel. You know? So, yeah.
All right. I let these bigwigs go. Once you bring me some of those cosmic bricks.
Why didn't they make me the supervisor here?
Jesus Christ, did they really dumb down Sandman for this game? Like, that just doesn't make sense, considering, like he may not be, like, Mr. Fantastic or Tony Stark levels of intelligence, but he was no means dumb by any matter of, you know, the sense, you know? Like, he was not dumb by any sense of the word. But he wasn't Tony Stark, Mr. Fantastic, any of these other characters' levels stupid, but he was relatively smart for a human level, like, especially whenever he was in his human form. You know?
Hulk, you have to remember to look before you leap.
But yeah, come to think of it, if anything,
I know, bad guys.
The
Shield folks think we
like,
need to formulate
he may not have been exactly as smart as Spider-Man, but he was
smash our way.
pretty close to it, from what I've seen.
Welcome back to New York, gentlemen.
So yeah.
Look at this mess.
You know, like, and everybody should know how smart Spider-Man is by now, considering one of the main attributes of his character, specifically for Peter Parker anyways, is the fact that he is, like, you know, like a hot nerd. You know, like, in a metaphorical sense. Like, he is meant to look like an attractive nerd. especially after he got his powers.
That's what that button does.
You know, like that is like the main selling point of his character, other than the point of the fact that anybody can wear the mask of Spider-Man. Like that may not be directly the Stan Lee quote, but it might as well be. Like and it might have not been the initial intention with the character, like how Stan Lee mentioned, but it did later on become a major aspect of the character, especially with characters like Gwen Stacy, Miles Morales, and all these other characters taking up the mantle of Spider-Man as well. You know? So yeah. And then there's also Cindy Moon, but then again, she's more of Silk than what she is a Spider-Man, like a direct Spider-Man variant. She's more of her own unique character, if anything. So yeah, there's also other characters too that have also taken up the mantle. You know, like an alternate universe, Gwen Stacy, that, you know, took up the mantle for Peter because he died that night instead of Gwen. No, it's not one who also got, you know, bitten by a radioactive spider, but it is one that also took the mantle of Spider-Man in the place of Peter because he died instead of her on that fateful night. So yeah. But she just decided to wear the regular Spider-Man suit. But that timeline didn't really go too well for anybody, you know? Especially not out of Peter's friend group. Considering, I'm pretty sure that Harry becomes like one of the Goblin variants, if I'm remembering correctly. Or something. I don't know exactly how the story goes, but I think that's how it goes, from what I can remember. But either way, let's just try and take out Abomination here, since that's really the first like major enemy here. I gotta try and do this. Yeah, I bet his breath stinking. You know, judging by the fact that it gave off that big old cloud of dust and stank. Like there's no way it smells good, especially since I'm pretty sure he's also powered by gamma radiation like Hulk. So yeah. Let's just try and beat Abomination already. So that way I can actually try and win against Sandman, since he's also the next enemy I gotta try and take out. Wow, Abomination. I failed to realize how easy Abomination was to take out, especially for a whole level character, or at least a somewhat to one. You know? Like, Abomination is supposed to be, like on a similar level to the Hulk. Not on the exact same level, of course, because that wouldn't make sense for logical reasons in the Marvel Universe, considering how powerful Hulk is. But I'm just saying, he is pretty close to it. Like, he is supposed to be, like, one of the strongest Hulk villains. Same with, like, characters like the Leader. Well, Leader's not necessarily strong, more or less smart. If anything.
I've already won.
So yeah. I don't think you've won, Sandman. I don't think you won, Clint. I tried. The reason that there was such a big pause is because I tried to remember Sandman's name. It's Clint, I think. Or is it Clint? I could be wrong either way. I'm not really the best with remembering names as much as I am with aliases or like faces and stuff. Like if I get a good look at a character's face and it stays consistent, then I'm able to remember a name pretty well. But even then, I'm still pretty bad at it because, you know, like if it's like a first name that I get introduced to, that's the one I'm most likely gonna end up remembering. So yeah. It's mostly just, and I usually get introduced to aliases first whenever it comes to comics. So that's easily the main reason why I have a harder time remembering, like, real, like, character names behind the mask. So yeah. Let's just try and take out this right here.
Looks like the writing's on the wall for you guys.
I just gotta try and get to Sandman already. man, this level is kind of easy. But come to think of it, some of the levels do get, you know, like a lot easier, like a lot lengthier whenever you go on.
At least I know a good spot for beach volleyball
yeah.
this week.
Where did the water pump come from? That doesn't really make sense whenever you think about it. How a water pump got added out of a clock. Like, there's no way that even remotely makes sense. You know? Come on, Hulk, get out of the way. So that way I can, you know, get this wall ready. Just to be broken by you. Alright, let's just try and take out Sandman already. So that way I can just finish up this level.
Like I'm king of the
Easily, by far, one of my
Zeros.
favorite LEGO levels
Good
of
luck
all time,
getting
in my
past
personal opinion.
Well, there's something
Like,
you
yeah,
don't
there's
see
other
every day.
levels, too, that
A large
are
building
really
I don't
good,
own yet.
in my opinion. You know, like, the Riddler and Two-Face level from LEGO Batman 1. That's a really good level, too, in my opinion. But, you know, like that, like, each LEGO game does have my own favorite level. I think that out of LEGO Ninjago's video game, I think that my favorite level has to be, like, let me think. It has to be, like, the, you know, stud fountain level. Mostly because, you know, it's just so fun to roam around the city, like, freely, without too much consequence, because you could do anything in that level, and it just not have any effect on the main story. Like, the LEGO Movie video game, my favorite level there has to, be the one where you go to Cloud Cuckoo Land. Sure, the colors may be overly bright and hard to look at sometimes, but it's still fun, regardless. In LEGO City Undercover, my favorite level has to be the last one, where you have to fight Rex. That easily has to be my favorite.
Guess I'll just have
And there's just some other LEGO games where I have some favorite levels too. Yay, I get to play as Spider-Man! Finally! Hey, at least it came full circle. The first LEGO game the first game I've ever played on this channel was a Spider-Man game, and now the newest series is
You Avenger guys
having
are
Spider-Man
really
in it.
great at making a mess.
So yeah, it kind of came full circle in a way. Maybe the last game I could ever play on this channel, like whenever I get around to actually end up retiring or whatever, if I ever get around to that. Maybe it could be a Spider-Man game too, just completely 100% full circle.
Around your name, Tony.
You know?
But this is taking things a little too far. We've got to shut off the power.
Why does that
says
voice
I get in
sound
my own
so
way.
familiar? Is that, like, I can't put an exact character or name to it, but the voice just sounds so familiar. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. Okay, I knew that it sounded familiar, because that's Ratchet's voice. That's Ratchet and Johnny Test's voice actor. I knew I heard it somewhere, I just couldn't remember where. Yeah, I'm surprised that I couldn't remember Ratchet specifically, since I played, what, 3 Ratchet and Clank games on this channel, so I'm honestly quite ashamed of myself that I couldn't recognize the voice. Probably couldn't remember it due to the fact that it's been so long since I played a Ratchet and Clank game on this channel. So yeah, I have to swap over to Spider-Man.
What is it?
Yeah, I just didn't realize that at first. And honestly, I'm quite ashamed of myself for not recognizing it at first, since, you know, Ratchet and Clank, like, ripped apart in the 2016 remake. It is, like, one of my favorite, like, those are 2 of my favorite games from the entire series that I've ever played. But then again, they're 2 of the, like, 3 only games I've ever played in the entire
This might
series.
require some extra muscle power.
Like, yeah, I've played All for One on my PS3 through, like, PlayStation Plus, like, years ago. But that was about it before, you know, I started playing the 2016 remake, and then, you know, ripped apart. So, yeah, and then also, size matters, too. Yeah, for those, I haven't really had much experience with the Ratchet and Clank series, to be perfectly honest. Okay, let's swap to Spider-Man so that way I can actually finish up this level. Like, I'm just really ashamed of myself, because I used to watch Ratchet and Clank not Ratchet and Clank, but Johnny Test all the time. I used to watch that like it was no other. And then I used to also, and then I've also played a lot of Ratchet and Clank, so I'm just ashamed of myself as it can possibly get for not recognizing the voice. You know, especially since since the voice actor does play, the main characters from both series. Hold on, I gotta look up the name again. I already forgot. Wow, he's 56. James Earl Taylor.
Seems like
I'm surprised that I didn't recognize his voice since, he's played Johnny Test, Ratchet and Clank. He's even played in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And just a lot of other stuff, too.
Let's find a way to take
and his
this
voice
thing
is so
down.
recognizable that it's just quite pathetic that I failed to realize that. He also played the Atlantis movie, I think. Also, I can swap down. Wait, he also played one of the Lego Flash variants. That's wild to think about. How he's played multiple superheroes to some degree, or at least many big name characters. He's also in Star Wars: The Clone Wars, and also
Hulk, remember, you
some
can
other stuff
back
too.
to normal if you calm down.
I just feel so pathetic considering a lot of that stuff was major parts of my childhood I have played on this channel, or are big name superheroes that, just make me really ashamed for not recognizing his voice, to some degree. Like, I just feel so pathetic for that, if I'm being honest. Okay, let's swap to Spider-Man to hop into this one thing. Yeah, if only Hulk would have gotten out of the way. Let's just try and water down Sandman already, so that way I can just try and get done with all this.
I'm solidifying. Solidifying!
Yeah, solidifying is, Did they really just make reference to the Wizard of Oz? But then again, it is one of the most famous movie scenes, and they did later make, a Wizard of Oz level for LEGO Dimensions, so can't really blame them too much there. So yeah. Wait, I have 75,000 studs already. Alright, I'm gonna have to try and see what I can do with all this. I need to try and, build up all this.
Quicksand, I've definitely got a sinking feeling right now.
But yeah, it's kind of weird that I have to deal with a Spider-Man villain as initially Tony Stark and Hulk, as Iron Man and Hulk initially. That feels kind of off. For what I can only say is pretty bare reasons. Let's just try and take down Sandman already. Hopefully I can just beat this level, just see what I can do with it. Alright, before too long, I'm gonna have to try and finish up this level, since it is one of the last things I have to do here. Yeah, let's just see what I can do with all this. Wait, I can form a thunderclap? Wait, huh? Oh, that is an insta-kill attack. Screw you, Sandman. Like, especially since, insta-kill attacks are basically some of the most cheap you could ever pull. Like, those are some of the most easily cheap attacks you could ever pull in any game, regardless of which one it is. Okay, I need to tug on this with Spider-Man, since, that's, the one thing I gotta do to get the lever down. Okay. Let's just get to this other lever already. Yeah, sorry if I don't sound too excited right now, or at least what I feel like I should be at. I'm just kind of tired after playing, not Lego, but Resident Evil 6, a little bit ago. So yeah. Let's just try and take out Sandman, since this should be like the final hit that I need to deal. I think, okay. Yep, let's wait for him to droop down and just hit his head. Okay. There we go. Come on, Hulk, take him out already! Jesus Christ. Seeing Hulk smile at you, especially like that, has gotta be one of the most horrifying things to ever imagine. Especially with more modern power levels for Hulk. Especially since he ripped out the World Tree from its roots. You know, like in a more recent comic. So
Hulk,
yeah.
Can you help with some of this debris?
Come on, Hulk, help out a little.
Cosmic bricks?
They came from the Sky Surfer you encountered. I've given Reed Richards
Yeah,
the job
cosmic
of finding
bricks.
out why everyone seems to
Obviously somewhat important.
Thanks for your help, Spider-Man. There's always a place in this operation for a hero like you.
Like I have time for that. I've got a trigonometry exam tomorrow. My aunt needs me to pick up a dozen eggs, and I'm drowning in angst.
So I see they went with
all
a teenage Spider-Man in this game.
And will it cut into my
I don't know if that changes in like any future games, but I would assume it does, considering they changed voice actors for later games. So yeah. Alright, that's the end of the level. I got a 100% stud meter counter. That's honestly kind of cool. Let's just see what I can do here.
I must have all
Okay,
the
there's
cosmic bricks I
Loki.
can get my hands on.
Yeah.
My word.
Now keep in mind, I will be
Progress
playing
faster.
Lego Marvel Avengers after this. I don't know if that takes place before this game or after, but I'm just assuming it's after.
For my plans.
So
But he
yeah.
does have a cool throne and a metal face.
Alright, let's just see what I can do. Maria Hill.
Director Fury, Reed Richards.
Alright, so I guess I gotta play his Mr. Fantastic
Fantastic
this
himself.
segment.
Any breakthroughs
So
on that
yeah,
cosmic
and also
brick
I think I
sent
gotta
you?
play as Captain America
Actually,
too.
I could use some help. Is Tony
So
Stark
yeah.
around?
He's working on something else. I have another Avenger here.
I'm actually the first Avenger, sir.
Do you have much experience with theoretical
Oh
quantum
my
mechanics
god,
and exotic
that's
nano-derived
corny.
power sources?
That's corny that they made reference
an
to the
A+ in
movie
American history.
Captain America: The First
Director
Avenger.
Fury, we have confirmation that
Jesus
more of those bricks hit the
Christ.
open ocean.
Here, give me a shield
But either way,
research
let's
sub
just
to
keep
gather those
moving
cosmic
and
bricks.
just see what I
I
can
want some
do.
answers. Cap, you head to the Baxter building with Reed Richards and help out the best you can.
I can always sell some war bonds.
Hill, another important thing. Lunch. Order in some shawarma. Stark knows a spot.
Alright, I'm on the SHIELD helicarrier now. I'm not even gonna bother trying to do another level this video, because, you know, my energy is kind of drained right now. I want to try and stream today, though, like later today, whenever, you know, I get more stuff built up, like energy and all this other stuff. So yeah. Like, you know, but that's only if I have the time for it. Okay, I got Captain America and Reed Richards now. Alright, that's gonna be the end of today's video. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.